Hey, everybody. How's it going? Today, I want to do part two in the series called Write It Out. Why write it out? Monday, we talked about talking it out. Today, we're going to talk about writing it out. Because the whole question is, what do I do with this pain? What can I do with this grief pain? Right? The pain needs a place to land. We know that it's in your heart. But if we start to process the pain out, what are we going to do with the pain? What happens with the pain? What's the next thing that we do with the pain? Okay. I am in marker hell today. That's brown. I don't want brown. We need black. Okay. And that, thank you, Sharon. Aha. The heart, the pain stays in our heart, right? It starts out in our heart. We need somewhere to put the pain. We need somewhere to move the pain to. We can't just allow the pain to just sit and be dormant. Can you allow it to sit and be dormant? Absolutely. You could stay in this pain if you want to. Should you choose to, you could just stay in this pain. It's absolutely up to you. But we talked about talking about the pain. Now we want to talk about writing about the pain. I am not a journaler. I'm not a journaler. I'm not a person that journals, but I write a lot. I write a lot. I will do a lot of brain dumps. Not like my other friend. I have a friend in here, and she's the brain dump queen, and she knows I'm talking about her. And the discoveries that she's had from the dumps have just been unbelievable. So if this is the grief pain, and the grief pain is just sitting here in our heart, and it's starting to ferment, and it's starting to grow, what do we do with this pain? How do we get it out? We know that we can process it out through a couple of different ways. And we talked about just talking it out on Monday. Today, we want to talk about writing it out. How to write out the pain. Most people think that journaling is just about writing your day. A lot of people are like, oh, it's my little diary. We all had a little diary when we were little girls with the key, right? What we're going to write in our little diary, what we did that day, what our feelings were, what the emotions were. A lot of us, that's what we think. When you become the griever, journaling becomes something else. It can become your lifeline. Journaling and writing out your grief can become your lifeline when you become the griever. It isn't about being a writer. You're not writing a book, okay? So we're not writing a book. We're writing a journal, right? We're writing out what we're feeling, what the emotions of this experience has been. This isn't something you're going to post, you're going to print. This is not something you're going to sell. It's about survival. It's about grieving the pain and a place to lay this pain. This is a place to lay the pain that has nowhere else to go. When your pain has nowhere else to go, this is the perfect place to put it, is in the journal. It's about giving your pain a place to go and some place to lay. And it is also about seeing the black and white, seeing it in black and white. The seeing your pain in black and white in that moment, seeing it when we're using all of the senses to get that grief out is huge, because you're thinking about it, you're seeing it, you're listening to yourself as you're writing it, you're using your hand, you can taste and smell the event as it happens. Hey friends, my name is Sharon Brubaker. I'm the founder of the Grief School, the place where healing begins. This is the two-part series. Go back and watch part one, was about how to talk about your grief, and today is about how to write about it. And today I want to talk about journaling. When your thoughts are spinning and you are spinning in this pain, your thoughts in your brain have you spinning like this. This is the grief spin, right? We're doing the grief spin. We can't get out of it. We don't know which way to make this stop. it's not really connecting to the pain. It's just this spinning that's going on. One of the things that we can do is write about it. We can actually get a journal and write it out. We can actually write what is happening. We can write it in a couple of different ways. When your thoughts are spinning and emotions are heavy, journaling helps you slow everything down. It helps you to slow it down, and it helps you to see it in black and white. It helps you to get the chaos out of your brain, out of your body, onto the paper. It helps you to do that. It helps you to see it in a different form. When you write what you're feeling, your brain can finally see it. The brain can see this, and it can now make sense of it for you. It can help you to make sense of it. When you write what you're feeling, your brain can finally see it. It's no longer just swirling around in your brain, causing confusion. It gives shape and voice to the emotions. It gives shape and voice to the emotions. It gives shape and voice to the emotions that you're feeling. That's what journaling does. It gives shape and voice to the emotions that you're feeling. Sometimes you don't even know what you're feeling until you write it out. Sometimes you don't even know what you're feeling until you talk it out. But when there's nobody around, and even though there may be somebody around, I'm going to reach out to Sharon. Oh, I don't want to bother her. I know she's so busy. Oh, I should reach out to Sue in our class, in our study hall class. Oh, I don't want to bother her. I know that she's busy. When you really have discounted every person that you could possibly talk to and share this, pull out the journal, pull out the brain dump, do the brain dump. It is a place to put the pain. It is somewhere that you can put the pain. It is processing the pain. Sometimes you don't even know what you're feeling until you write it down. You can tell a whole story, and then your heart will throw the emotion because it sees it there, and now you know what you're feeling because you have seen it there. You might sit down and think, well, I'm fine. I'll just write a few sentences. And then you start crying. You can finally feel something real starting to be released. This is what I mean when I say the pain needs a place to land. The pain needs a place to land. It needs to be released, but it needs somewhere to go. Because right now, it's just going between the brain and the heart and the brain and the heart. And that's what's causing the massive confusion. That's what I mean when I say the place needs somewhere to land. This is not about grammar. This is not about structure. This is not about spelling, because I'm the worst speller in the world. And it is not about that. Journaling isn't about performing. Journaling isn't about performing in a perfect way. You don't need to sit down and make sure that you have all of the letters spelled correctly and in the right order in order for you to get it out. Sometimes I'm printing and I'm writing, and I'm handwriting. I'm putting all the letters together. But you know what? When I go back, I can tell what I wrote there. If it's messy, if it's raw, it's honest, it's okay, put it on the page. It doesn't matter if it's messy, raw, or honest. I want it on the page. If you're cursing, if you're scribbling, if there's tears falling out on the page, put it on the page. You can write the same sentence 20 times. Where are you? You can write that sentence over and over again. I need you. I can't do this. Now, that's important what I just said. These journaling prompts are going to your person. Sometimes it makes it a little bit easier if we journal right to our person. Beautiful Griever just told me this yesterday, and journalists share this all the time. If we journal right to our person, just as if we're talking to them, keeping them updated on what things are going on, it's really helpful. So this might be a way to go, is that you actually journal right to your person. Or you can journal to just yourself, the experience that's going on. Or you can do this, what you just saw me do. This is a brain dump. This is a brain dump, you guys. This is how my brain sees grief, how I'm showing it to you. You can curse, you can scribble, you can cry on the page. You can write the same sentence 20 times. There are no rules. When I started brain dumping my own loss, I don't necessarily journal like this, but when I started writing it, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just writing this. I hate this. Or I would just write an emotion. Angry, mad. And then I would just write everything that had to do with that anger. I would just write it out on a piece of paper. Brain dumps help me. They still help me to this day. If I can get it all on a piece of paper, not computerized, but honestly on a piece of paper, something happens to me. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, I pull it up out a piece of paper. I got to get it all out. I got to get it all out onto there. I didn't know what I was doing, and I just wrote. I don't understand this. This hurts so much. I need you. Where are you? Sometimes the next day I would start over with the same sentence, same brain dump. But what happens over time is that the entries that you're writing in that journal will start to change. They will start to change. You start noticing that your thinking is actually different. You start noticing that you're looking at it differently. The feelings that are coming up start looking different. That's where the healing will start to take root. I'm going to give you some journal prompts today in the live. I'm giving you some journal prompts. What hurts the most? What hurts the most today? I'm going to put these in the link. What do I wish I could have said to my person? What is something I wish I could have said to her or to him? What am I afraid to feel right now? What memory keeps me coming back? What memory keeps coming back to me? I read that wrong. What memory keeps coming back to me? I put journal prompts in the Facebook group every day, and you guys are so good at answering them. And sometimes if you don't type them out and answer them in your brain. Take these journal prompts and just answer them so you know where you're at. So you know where you're at. She said, this is happening to me right now. I journal for the first time on Saturday, says Aida. Hey, ladies. You don't have to have the answers. You just have to show up to the paper. That's it. You just have to show up to the paper, and you just have to get it out. This is something you can do daily. This is something you can do for 5 minutes. This is something you can do once a week. It's really good to put by your side of your bed and have that journal there at night, and in the morning just get up and grab it and start writing. So many times I have grievers that come to their class and they bring their journal with them and they're like, this happened to me, and they want to share it. And they read right out of the journal. But more importantly, and I think all of you ladies, beautiful ladies, know this, if you want to talk about it, Grief Study Hall is the best place to talk. Tuesdays and Thursdays. 1 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesday and 10 on Thursday is the best place to talk. Okay. So I'm just going to recap this real quick before I get off. Our brain is spinning. It is spinning in the grief. Every time the brain doesn't spin, it sends pain to our heart. Journaling is about some place to place the pain. We can journal in a brain dump. We can journal rewriting the same question over and over again. Journaling gives shape and voice to the emotions that you're feeling. You can journal directly to your person, or you can just journal in generic journal. Just write everything that's happening for the day. If you don't want to journal and you just want to do brain dumps, we know that they are amazing and they absolutely work. So there's a recap. I love you all. I'll see you guys all in Grief Study Hall tomorrow and TikTok tonight at 8 p.m. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.